I guess it wouldn't hurt to start explaining this kind of stuff if this channel's geared towards farmers and non-farming community. What this thing is basically is it's a grain head, technical term for it. What it does is it cuts a grain at the bottom of the ground, then cuts it off at the ground with this knife. Kinda way I think of it is a electric razor, if you will. Like an electric razor, this thing moves back and forth. I don't know how many feet per minute or however you want to think of it, but it moves back and forth just like a sickle bar on a hay bind. For all you guys that know what hay bind is, basically that. Then this reel, this big spinny black thing, it pulls the grain in as it cuts it, pulls the grain into the floor of the grain head, whereas that big red spiral thing, the auger, it feeds it into the center of the combine, which I'll explain that a little later. And there's fingers right there where these here are that also help pull the grain in into the center of the machine as well. Once both these augers, they come this way with the grain, and then these four augers here take it into the machine in the center. Got your end dividers there, crop dividers, so you can tell whereas you've been with the previous pass. They go in these slots here, because if you didn't have those crop dividers, you wouldn't be able to tell whereas you made the last pass. So that is why you see those crop dividers on all grain heads. I'm not sure John Deere has them, but there they are. That's what they are. This head, okay, so on this head particularly, it's set up for hydraulic up and down, fore and aft. So you can get crops that's like soybeans or wheat or whatever that's laying down, and you can pick it back up. Some heads have manual adjustment right here where this would be. There wouldn't be this here on a manual adjusting head, and it would just be a crank that you would just use to adjust it. Obviously you wouldn't be able to adjust it on the fly if you had a crank, but that's the way these 20-foot heads, 25, 30, 35, 40, and I think even 45-foot heads have it. I know for a fact the 45s do, and the 30s. The 15-foot head prior to this did not. And where it gets its power from is the PTO shaft, driveline PTO shaft that runs the gearbox on this thing, the knife. Up there, I just got done greasing this in the previous video. I'll put a link in the description. For those of you who want to go back and see greasing this thing. You got these here. Make sure this stuff here takes grease, because if it don't, it wears out, it breaks, that kind of stuff. But right here is where it hooks the head up under here. There you can get a little bit better picture of machining the head on the header cart. That's how you tote them down the road, is a grain head cart. So, thanks for watching, guys. Stop back by.